Hello, this is Lauren from Motherwell Tarot. Today I'll be doing a quick pick a card reading on what people love most about you. Alright, so this is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Let's get started with pile number 1. Okay, Helicicon. This one here we have a picture of a mermaid with a few butterflies around. I think, to me, this one makes me think you have a really creative, bubbly personality. Triumph of Galata. You might be successful in nearly everything you take on and do. Who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. So you might have recently done a lot of work on yourself and people are really noticing. Be in the present. Go back to yesterday. So you probably are very good at being in the present moment. It has all of your full attention and people notice that about you. No need to fear. This with the Triumph of Galata one makes me think you're fearless, you triumph over all your obstacles. People respect and admire that. Find the lesson, discover the purpose in a situation, trust that you are learning. You're probably always improving on yourself, learning as you go. You might even point out the lesson to others. Alright, let's see from the Animal Oracle what we can get for what people love about you. You have Shark Instinct. So they might notice you're really intuitive, you go with your instincts, and that might usually be correct. Cicada Cycles. You might be very good with your time, the way you manage your time and schedule it. Elephant Compassion. You might show a lot of compassion towards others if they make mistakes or if they need comfort. And Jabiru Foundation. So you probably have a strong foundation in your life. People notice that. You're doing very well. Okay, let's see what we've got for pile number 2. Alchemical Seas. Okay, so you might be a bit of a cook. People might notice that you're a cook. You might have very good chemistry with people, be able to easily interact with people a lot. You might be able to go with the flow quite well. Stardust Angel. When we look at this one, we can see a lot of colours in the background and sparkles. They might like the way you dress. Impossible Things. Working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, fresh perspective. So you might have a really creative streak that enables you to gain a fresh perspective on any situation you're having. People might ask you for advice because you can give them a really good perspective on what's going on. A new set of eyes is always helpful. Wake up, it's your moment. People might admire you, like at celebrations and stuff like that. You might always grab the spotlight. Again, with the flowers, they might notice how you dress. You might smell very good all the time. People appreciate a good smell. Clock time. So you might be good at being on time a lot. You don't keep people waiting. You might also be good at organising times. You You might be very organised. Nonsense, it's time to talk sense. So people probably really understand what you're saying. You know, you offer a fresh perspective and they get what you're saying a lot. Let's see for the animal ones. Jellyfish flow. So you might always be flowing with things, you know, you flow well. You could be a water sign, although that doesn't have to be the case. In conversation, you probably flow very well, you know, you always know what to say, you have a good conversation. Perception. People really appreciate your perception on things, you know. The way you perceive things gives people a better way at looking at it. You're probably more positive in a negative situation where people don't really know what to take from it. Turtle longevity. That kind of reminds me of the jellyfish card we just had with flow. So again, you flow with conversations, you probably flow well throughout your life, you know, you don't let obstacles get in your way, and people see that and admire that and respect that about you. And here we have camel celebration. So a lot of you are probably the life of the party. You know, we can see a lot of colours as well. You probably dress very well. You know, you probably dress very cheerfully, and that lifts people up. Let's move on to the final one. Group number 3. Seashell princess. So people probably love your style, you know, the way you do your hair and makeup. It probably really inspires them, and you know, it might encourage them to work on their own. You might even be a makeup artist and do other people's hair or makeup, you know, and they love that. Mermaid picking a lotus blossom. You probably wear very nice scents and perfumes, and people love that about you. You might also be very generous in giving people gifts, you know, showing your appreciation, and they appreciate that. Forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Memory no longer defines you. This is a tricky one for me. Maybe you don't let past hurts get in your way, you know, and let that bring you down. You always just keep going. You always try and stay uplifted. You don't let things drag you down, and people love that about you because, you know, it's good to be happy. Believe strange encounters. So you might believe in things that a lot of people don't. You might have a lot of faith, and people notice that and admire that about you. You might also encourage it in others and make them want to believe more in things that they wouldn't usually believe in. You could also make them believe in themselves. We're all mad here. Everyone is a little different. When I look at this one, I think, you know, you probably have a lot of personality. It really stands out to people. People love your personality. You know, it's probably unique, different to what they're used to. Shine bright like a candle, you'll make it through this. You can probably get through a lot of situations that most people would really struggle with, but no, not you. You keep going, you persevere. You're probably a very determined person. Purity. People probably love your kind soul. You know, you probably have a real pure heart. You want to do really well. You don't want to bully people, you don't want to get them down, you know, you love people, you have no ill will or intentions. Orangutan, creation. You might be really creative, people might notice that about you in your appearance or when they visit you in your home and they love it. It's probably very unique and different. Cow, nourishment. You probably nurture people a lot. You know, make sure they have what they need. If they need help, you're probably willing to help a lot of people out. And whale, communication. People probably love the way you communicate to them. You know, you nourish them, you communicate very well, you always have something positive to say to them, and they notice that about you and they love it. Thank you for watching.